Hello everybody, welcome back to Blues Focus TV for another full-time match reaction video. And what a phenomenal Blues performance tonight. A 3-2 win over our rivals, the Baggies, away from home. A Scott Hogan hat-trick. I never thought I'd see the day Scott Hogan bags 3 goals, but he did tonight and he was absolutely superb. Junior Bacuna obviously getting himself 2 assists as well, and Troy Deeney getting himself an assist on the night too. So really brilliant to see. We know Baggies are a very good side on paper. They certainly field a strong team. Haven't started the season the best, to be fair. 20th in the league now, I believe they are, and they didn't look too good tonight. But I think the main reason Baggies didn't look good tonight is we were so good. First 20 minutes, we certainly started the better side. For whatever reason, this Eustace side, they seem to come out the blocks really well. That only lasts 5, 10, 20 minutes sometimes, but we always seem to start games on the front foot, which is brilliant to see. Don't know what he says to the players, but we always show what we're about as soon as we come out the blocks for the first half. But really good start, obviously getting the goal in the first 20 minutes as well through Scott Hogan. Really nicely played through ball from Junior Bacuna to split open the Baggies' defence. And a really nicely taken finish from Scott Hogan. It's what he's paid to do. It's his bread and butter, shots from that range, and he took them beautifully tonight, all 3 of them. So fantastic way to start the game. Obviously 8 or 9 minutes later though, Baggies did get their equalising goal. Just split open our defence a little too easily. Josh Williams, he did try to lunge for the ball, but obviously couldn't quite reach it. And a nicely taken finish from the Baggies forward. So 1-1, we never hold leads too long, do we? But at least we were able to in the second half. Maybe something we need to look to get a little bit better about, but I'm hardly going to complain about anything at all tonight. Second half of the first half sort of dwindled out in the end. Not a lot of chances from either side. And then it went to half-time. And certainly, again, second half, we came out looking the stronger side, I think. Obviously, it managed to get our 2 goals. And our second goal was absolutely brilliant. One-touch football. It was like watching Barcelona. Bacuna, Deeney and Hogan linking up beautifully. From defence to attack, the ball got to the other end of the pitch in about 10 seconds. Absolutely beautiful goal, and obviously a nicely taken finish from Hogan, hitting the post and finding the back of the net. So brilliant to see. I mean, if our front 3 can perform like that every single game this season, no doubt we'll survive and maybe even challenge, for a mid-table position or even higher. But all 3 were absolutely brilliant and nicely cleared from the defence as well. Defence was brilliant tonight. Such a solid foundation I feel we've got at the back with Trusty, Roberts and Sanderson. Obviously, Roberts had to come off in the end. But it's nice to know Colin can fill that centre-half position if needed. Lecco did come on it in the right wing-back position and thought he looked good. It's nice to see Lecco get a good game, a good performance under his belt. I think for a player like Lecco, it's certainly confidence that simply lets him down, because we know there is a decent player inside Lecco somewhere. But I certainly think it's a confidence issue with him. So it's nice to see him come on in that wing-back role and have a good performance. He brought the ball forward well. He defended when he needed to. So a good performance from him tonight. It was nice to see him get that opportunity. And then obviously after Lecco coming on, we held out for the last 20 minutes really well. We scored our 3rd goal in the 71st minute, obviously through Scott Hogan again. And just before I get on to the last 20 minutes of the game, again, a really nicely taken finish from Hogan through Button's legs. The defender certainly showed him towards the goal, because he probably imagined Hogan wouldn't be able to find the back of the net from the angle he was at. But no, brilliantly taken finish. I'm so happy for Hogan. Again, like Lecco, he's a player who probably relies on confidence to have good games. And certainly getting 3 goals tonight, that's just going to do his confidence a world of good, isn't it? So brilliant from Hogan. But yeah, last 20 minutes we held out really well defensively. Such a good foundation, such a solid structure. Certainly held our shape really well. Defended any crosses that came into the box. As I said, Trusty, Sanderson and Roberts for me have been... Roberts has been a bit shaky at times, but a good performance tonight before he came off. Collins certainly fills that centre-back role really well. But defended for our lives in the last 20 minutes. Whether you were watching from the stands or watching at home, it was certainly horrible to watch. But we managed to hold out and get all 3 points, which is honestly brilliant. That puts us 14th in the table, I believe, now. We are only 3 points off the playoffs. Still very early days, of course, but 3 points off the playoffs. Coventry this weekend, so maybe an opportunity for some more points there. But no, defensively we were brilliant. Midfield, we were fantastic too. I thought Bielik looked good before he came off at half-time. It's a shame Bielik seems to pick up a lot of injuries, doesn't he? He did at Derby. He's obviously started the season injured for us and now has had to come off at half-time injured. But hopefully it's nothing too serious. But it's nice having that defensive player in the middle of the park. I think when Ryan Woods left, we were certainly lacking that defensive. I think it was a midfield of George Hall and Jordan James, wasn't it? And Bakuna in behind the strikers. And I think that was quite attacking. But having that defensive player back in the midfield, it just keeps things a bit more solid, a bit safer, in my opinion. So hopefully Bielik's injury isn't too bad and he can come back as soon as possible. But Chong alongside him as well was brilliant in the midfield tonight. It's so nice to think Chong is here to stay. Obviously, last season we had to see him leave and go back to Manchester United. And most players that come to Blues are always loans. If they perform well, they go back to their clubs. But it's nice to think Chong is here and he's here to stay. 5-year deal. Obviously, a very versatile player, can play centre midfield like he did tonight, attacking midfield, wide. So it's so nice to see him doing so well for Blues. And having such a good performance. And then obviously the front three, they speak for themselves. Hogan, I've spoken plenty about. Deeney, I'm so happy he's had a good performance tonight because we know there's a good striker in Deeney. He's obviously had his haters this season, and rightly so, because he hasn't performed anywhere near to standard, to be honest. But he's just been superb this game, obviously assisting the third goal, and certainly being a big part in the second goal as well. So just really happy to see him contribute well to this Blues team tonight. And obviously Junior Bakuna with the 2 assists as well. Bakuna for me can be a bit of a hit and miss player, but he was certainly more hit tonight. Really good performance. He looks so brilliant on the ball and some of his passes are just excellent. Really helps Blues transition the ball from defence to attack really nicely. So glad to see that front three just putting in a really, really good performance. We've been lacking the goals this season. I think defensively we look pretty good on the whole, but I think in the final third is what lets us down. But certainly they came up brilliantly tonight. So really good performance, over the moon. Coventry at the weekend, obviously they've started so poorly. 2 points in total, I think, 2 draws and 4 losses. Given the season they had last season, certainly expected a bit more of them. But hopefully, if there's a game we're going to pick up points from this season, it's going to be bottom of the table Coventry. They drew tonight 2-2 to Luton. So a decent point for them away from home. But certainly, if we want to push forward, these are the teams we need to be beating. It's as simple as that. We always seem to do well against the good teams and not so good against the bad teams. So it'll be interesting to see how we do this Saturday. But thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and tonight's game. I'm sure you did. We'll see you Saturday against Coventry. Keep right on.